Hello lovely people, welcome to another reading vlog. How are we all doing? How has your weekend been? Weekend, how has your weekend been? What books are you currently reading? Let me know in the comments. I am here with not really reading updates from last week, but reading continuations from last week, book mail, and just generally a reading vlog. I'm really excited because this week I only have a 4-day working week, except now it's a 3-day working week because it is Monday after work, and I then have Friday off because it's a bank holiday, and then next week I have the whole week off, and I am buzzing because it's my first week off of the year. Very ready for a break. Don't know what I'm going to be doing yet. My mum and Ava have got the week off too, so we're going to be doing some stuff together and it'll be really good. So I'm really looking forward to it. Reading wise, I am still reading Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. I'm really enjoying this and there's no real reason that I haven't finished it yet, I don't think. The writing style is certainly slower in terms of there not being any big huge action moments. This is very much a development of multiple games and also the characters' lives. So we're following two characters from childhood into adulthood as they form a friendship and make these games together, and we see the process of them starting this company making these games and then how that develops and how their personal lives develop. I really like it. I think the atmosphere is fantastic. I really enjoy reading about the characters because they're certainly very flawed characters and they feel very real and they're very interesting to read about, and just generally everything in this gives me a real appreciation for everything that goes into the creation of games and the beauty of the art in the game and every little tiny step that it took to get to where the game is in when we're playing the game and what we see. There was a specific part in this that talked about being able to see reflections of your characters in the water in a game and how difficult that was to achieve, and this initially is set when they're making the games. I think we're in the late 90s to the early 2000s initially, so that's the kind of technology stage that they're talking about, and it was just really interesting hearing that kind of conversation and seeing all of that. So yeah, I love this. I think it's really good. I almost don't want to finish it, but I do want to finish it because I want to move on to a fantasy next, I think. So I think I might move on to Wild and Wicked Things after this, but I love it, it's really good, and yes, I am continuing this in from last week's reading vlog. I'm also listening to the audiobook for The Dream Thieves, which is the second in the Raven Boys series by Maggie Stiefvater. I read The Raven Boys last week and that was a reread for me, but this one is a first time read, so this is a continuation on from the first book. It's very nature, witchy, magic type of thing. It follows around ley lines and the magic that is within those ley lines and how that influences the characters that we're following and the mission that they have throughout the whole of this series. I really enjoyed the first one and I'm really enjoying this one. I love this kind of magic system. It's the similar kind of magic system to books like All Our Hidden Gifts by Caroline O'Donoghue, for example. I just think it's really good fun. So yeah, this is my audiobook at the moment. It is week 2 of RealmAthon as well, so I do want to be able to finish both of those this week and then hopefully move on and maybe finish something else this week, just so I can kind of give myself another boost on RealmAthon, because I think was it 3 books I finished last week, which was a good start to the readathon, I think. I also got some really exciting book mail. Fairy Loot have sent out the volume 2 of the Heartstopper series, so I got that over the weekend and I wanted to show you guys, but if you don't want to see what that looks like, if yours hasn't arrived yet, you want it to be a surprise, I will pop a timestamp somewhere up on the screen so you can skip to that and not see what the book looks like. Okay, have you skipped? Ample warning, the book is coming, it's coming, here it is! It's so pretty, this metallic shine is just gorgeous, I absolutely love it. Under the Dust jacket is equally stunning, I love the colour choices, I cannot wait to see what the green one looks like, which is volume 3. It just flawlessly done, absolutely stunning. I'm so glad that Fairy Loot chose to do these. It's such a wholesome, lovely series anyway, and Fairy Loot are doing such a good job with these editions. Okay, spoilers over there. I was considering streaming today because my current read was talking about farm simulator games and it made me want to stream Stardew Valley. I haven't streamed that in a couple of weeks, but I actually think I might just have the night off. I had a pretty busy weekend. I was at a wedding on Saturday, which was good fun, and then Sunday I was quite busy as well. Drove back here quite late and then just crashed as soon as I got back. And I've bought myself a really nice dinner. I have crunchy roll, seafood and some salady bits, and then I've got strawberries that look delicious. You know when like you just hope the strawberries taste as good as they look? It's that kind of stage. So I might just watch a film and chill with the food because that makes it just sound like I'm gonna just cuddle up with the food, but why not? Because I think that's the kind of evening I want tonight. So I've decided already, I'm not going to stream tonight. I am doing a Patreon live show tomorrow, I'm doing another one on Thursday, so I've got lots of content going out this week as well, and I will be doing a Twitch stream on Wednesday and Friday as well, so Monday night chill. I'm gonna go make my dinner now. Very excited about it, and I'm gonna pick a film. But anyway, hi, welcome to the reading vlog. I hope you enjoy. Hello, I'm here with an update because I read for quite a bit last night and this book broke me. I didn't intend to read for as long as I did, but I couldn't put this down. I just couldn't. Some stuff was happening and oh, it was very intense. It was very, very, very intense and very well written and very good. And that's all I'm going to say because I don't want to spoil anybody. I ended up watching The Durrells last night, which is set in Corfu and follows a family who moved over there. It's based on a true story. And I wanted to watch that because we're going to Corfu next month and I thought it would be nice to see it in the show. So I watched a couple of episodes of that rather than watching a film, and then I thought I'll read for like half an hour. A couple of hours later, and yeah. So I'm on Patreon sprints later tonight and I'm no doubt going to just continue the pain. I've not got much left. I've got under 100 pages. Kind of see it there, under 100 pages left. And I don't know how I feel about that because I don't want it to end now that this has happened. I'm like, oh, this is thrown it in a different direction for me. So yeah. Right now, I am taking my car to the garage because despite the fact that I've had this car since January, I have not been given the spare key for the car yet, and I'm finally picking it up today, which has been such a long wait, 4 months, only 4 months. So I'm grabbing that today, so I've got to go to the garage now and pick that up and have it like programmed, so I think I'm going to work in a cafe for a little bit. And then Patreon sprints later today with my book that is giving me all the feels. Hello, I am mid-final sprint of Patreon sprints, but I'm here with a reading update because I have finished tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow, and I gave this 5 out of 5 stars, despite the fact that last week I was kind of in a point where I was like, I don't know if I want to put this down and read something else for a little bit, then pick it back up. This was just a brilliant book throughout. It was definitely more medium paced, and I think that's why last week I was kind of at the point where I was like, oh, is it the right time for me to read this now? But yes, it was the right time. This was superb in so many different ways. Not only is this a really brilliant book about gaming and about the industry of gaming and the behind the scenes side of all of this that you just don't really get to see very often, but this is also a brilliant book for character development. We see these characters over the span of 30 years. We see 30 years of technology changing, of the world changing, of big world events happening, and we also see this as a critique slash an observation of society over this time as well, and how society are responding to things and how society is growing over this time. And I think that the late 90s into the early noughties is certainly a point in which a lot of change was happening, and this book really, really reflects that. I'm gonna put it down so I can keep talking about it. Also, sorry if you can hear the fan of my laptop in the background, it is on the live show still, so it's making a little bit of a noise. I really love the characters in this book. Sadie, Sam and Marks. Sadie and Sam are really the main characters, but Marks was described kind of as an NPC throughout, in which he was always there, but I definitely think he had a lot more value than just being classed as an NPC character, and I think that was very much the point that the book was making. And I just loved getting to know them all. I love the fact they were all flawed, none of them felt perfect. I really specifically enjoyed that we got one chapter from Marx's perspective. All of these other perspectives have been from Sadie or Sam's perspective and what was happening with them at the time of the story, but we got a really beautifully written chapter from Marx's perspective that was so stunning and really unique, and I loved the way that he saw the world, and that was really amazing to be able to see as well. This book dealt with so much. I can't even list it all, and I don't want to because I don't want to ruin any of it for anybody that's watching this thinking they would like to read this book. But just know that I absolutely loved it, and I think if you are a fan at all of gaming and you like understanding more of what's going on behind the scenes there, then you'll love this. If you are a fan of books that span over a portion of a lifetime, this spans over around 30 years, as I said, so you'll love it for that reason. And if you like seeing characters that are not perfect, that are definitely flawed, and that feel like they have very real attributes to them, then again, I think you'll really enjoy this. I loved it. It was great. It comes out, I think, July 14th, is it? July 14th, which is the day before my birthday. Do pre-order it. I just absolutely loved it. So thank you so much to Penguin Random House for sending me an early copy through of this. It was a very, very, very strong 5 out of 5 stars. So tonight I have started my next read, which is Wild and Wicked Things by Francesca May. This is a fantasy that I think is set around the 20s, and it's meant to be Great Gatsby meets practical magic, and it is set around this island called Crow Island, in which there's magic on this island. I'm really excited to read this one because of the comparison of practical magic meets the Great Gatsby. That makes it sound quite good fun. I assume there's going to be some good parties, we're going to see some cool magic, we're going to see some cool outfits and atmosphere and setting, and I'm hoping it delivers all of those things. I haven't heard too much about this yet. This is the ARC, but this did come out in March. I just haven't been able to get to it yet. So I will let you know my thoughts. I'm only about 20 pages in at the moment, so I really haven't had a chance to form many thoughts yet, but I'm very intrigued. This is also ticking my goal of trying to get more fantasy onto my TBR at the moment, because I suddenly realised I hadn't read much fantasy over the last few months, despite the fact that fantasy is one of the genres I usually read the most of. So this one is ticking that box for me. I normally read more fantasy than I do any other genre each year, and this year, I don't know why, but I just haven't read as much fantasy. I've read quite a couple of different genres, and I don't really know what I've read the most of, but yeah, trying to get a bit more fantasy on my TBR because I was having a yearning for reading more fantasy. I had a book idea. I've been having a concept for a book idea for a little while now, and I formed a bit more of the idea over the weekend just thinking about it, and then today I decided that I would draft up that idea a little bit more. So I drafted it up in a Notion board and have kind of established where I want it to go, and there was a kind of blurry, hazy spot for me of what direction it was going to go in, and I've kind of ironed that out, and I've kind of formed a genre for it and more plot than I had before, and I'm kind of excited about it. I actually wrote a book, a middle grade, in 2019, and I then started to edit it, and I keep stopping editing and then going back to it and having to start at the beginning of the book again, which means the first part of the book is very well finally edited, whereas the rest of it I just haven't got through to yet, and I would really like to do that because I really like the middle grade that I wrote, but I've been wanting to come up with an idea for an adult fiction for a while, and I've just had this idea now for what was initially an adult contemporary and is now an adult fantasy contemporary, which I'm quite excited about. I'm not going to say anything more about either of the ideas, but I wanted to let you know that I had come up with something, and it's something that I want to play about with because I have always enjoyed writing. I wrote a book called The Weather People when I was about 6 or 7, and it basically was about a house that lifted up in a storm and landed somewhere else, and these people were desperately trying to find their house in this really bad storm. It was a masterpiece. To expect to see it on shelves near you very soon. I really enjoy writing, so I'm quite excited about that, and hopefully can get to actually working on that with the million other things that I'm also trying to do, but it should be fun. Also, I don't think I mentioned my jumper this morning when I filmed. It's one that's been sent to me by a brand as a PR product. This is sent to me by muse.muse.love on Instagram, and I love it. It's an actual oversized jumper. I always struggle to find jumpers that are actually oversized, so I always go for a size up, and this one has done it quite well. You can't really tell too well because I'm sat down, but I really love it. I love the colouring of the letters. There's also different colour choices, and I'm a big fan. We are entering into the summer months soon, so I am very excited to dress for summer, but I thought I would give this a wear before it gets too hot to wear any jumpers, because I do love wearing a jumper. They make me feel very cozy. So yeah, this is my PR product jumper to show you. Okay, I'm gonna get back to sprints now. I've been talking for far too long, but to reading I go. Hello. I bought books today. I haven't bought a book for a couple of weeks. I was doing quite well, and then I wasn't. So I bought 3 books. I'm going to show you what they are. One of them I have bought is a research-based book So I feel like that one doesn't count, kind of. I mean, it is still a book and I did still buy it, but I'm gonna say that one's counted separately to the other two. Okay, so the two fiction ones that I bought, I got The No-Show by Beth O'Leary. This is Beth O'Leary's newest book, and also was half price, as this horrible sticker here will tell you. So I thought I would pick this one up. I think it came out today or yesterday. It's definitely a new release. Now, I really liked The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary. I didn't enjoy The Switch quite so much, and I haven't read The Road Trip yet, but I wanted to get this one. I've got them all in hardback, so I wanted to have it matching. And also in the blurb, this features somebody that has started a new life in Winchester, and I went to university in Winchester, so I thought that might be fun to read about. Although also I do get a little bit sad when I read about Winchester, because I love the city so much and I really miss my time at university there, so maybe it'll have the opposite effect, but I thought I'd pick it up. It was the last one left as well, and I couldn't not get it when it was half price. I realise I haven't actually told you what this one's about, so I should probably familiarise myself with that to then be able to tell you. So this looks like it goes over the course of a day. I don't know if the actual story is longer than that, but there's a morning, afternoon and evening breakdown of the blurb and different people that we meet. And at the bottom it says, it's a joyful new novel about dating and waiting and the ways love can find us. I also picked up a finished copy of With This Kiss by Carrie Hope Fletcher. This is the WATERSTONES exclusive edition. It's very pretty, and I picked this up. I do have the ARC, and I haven't read it yet, but I will be reading it. It'll be my next book that I read, because I've been invited to the launch event for this next week, and I'm really, really hoping I'm able to go. I think I will be able to go, but I don't want to say for sure yet, so I thought it would be really nice to get this one signed and bring this with me, because this is a very, very, very pretty edition, and I'm very excited about this book. This sounds really interesting. It's about somebody who, when she kisses people, she can see when they're going to die, which I feel is going to make me think about things in the way that they both die at the end. Made me think about things, because with that book I thought, was it the fact they knew they were going to die that ended up being the thing that killed them? So is the fact that they'll know the way they'll die if she tells them going to be the reason that they actually die ultimately? It's one of those ones that I feel like it's going to hurt my head, but it looks really good. This is a really, really pretty edition, and I'm very excited that I have this one to bring with me to the launch event. And finally, I bought Witch by Lisa Lister. This is a research book for me. I mentioned that I have come up with an idea for a book yesterday, and part of that is a contemporary fantasy, so I wanted to involve witchcraft in that and have it be a more earthy, natural type of witchcraft. And this book looked really interesting to research into, because this follows the history of witchcraft, women reclaiming the word witch and not having it as a punishment type of word anymore, and also the different types of witchcraft that there is. It looked really interesting, and hopefully it'll help me open a couple more doors onto the book idea I have, because at the moment I've just kind of written out the plot and haven't really got much of a bulk to it yet, so I'm hoping that researching with books like this will help me get a little bit more of an insight into what kind of a magic system I want to involve. I'm also really hoping that it has quite a relatable character for people that are in situations a little bit similar to mine, in which society is kind of throwing the pressures on you to be at a certain place in your life, when that might not be the place that you want to go to, or it might not be the place you're at now in terms of marriage and children and certain directions that you're not necessarily on the path to take. I think there's a lot of societal pressures to do those things, and I wanted to create a character who was under those pressures as well, because it's something relatable for me, hopefully it's something relatable for other people, and it's something that I really wish would stop being such a big pressure, especially on women. There is a tremendous level of pressure for women to do certain things by certain ages, let alone if they even want to do those certain things, and I don't like it, so I thought that that would be something I would like to write about as well. So yeah, hopefully the main character is relatable in that sense to some of you. That is all I'm going to say about my book idea for the moment, because I'm really busy, I have lots going on, I don't know how quickly I will be able to sit down and write this, but also I probably will change it quite a lot, and I don't fully know what it's going to look like yet, but it's an adult contemporary fantasy with witchcraft, nature-based magic to it, and I'm pretty excited about it. Right, I'm gonna go do a keyboard lesson now, because I've been slacking a little bit the last few weeks, which isn't good. So I need to get back into that, and then I am going to have some dinner, and then I'm going to stream some Pokemon, I think. I have been doing some reading today. I've been listening to my current read as an audiobook as well as reading alongside it. I'm about 120 pages in at the moment. I'm enjoying it quite a lot. It's The Wild and Wicked Things, or Wild and Wicked Things, but you're currently sat on it as a tripod, so I can't show you, but I like it a lot, and I like the magic system. It's interesting. However, I wish we were seeing a little bit more from the time period slash the fashion and atmosphere. I feel like it's there, but it doesn't feel unique enough to me that it's not really standing out in my head too visually yet. So hopefully that'll kind of refine once we've established more of what direction the plot's heading in. Anyway, I'm gonna go do all those things. Goodbye. Hello, I have reading updates. It is quite late on Thursday night, but I have finished work for the week, as in like for the whole of next week as well. I have the Easter break off. I'm so excited. I'm so happy that I have the break off. So I have started the break by finishing Wild and Wicked Things. I gave this 3.5 out of 5 stars. I finished it on Patreon Sprints tonight. I wasn't blown away by it. I wanted a bit more of the Gatsby-esque to it. It said it was Gatsby meets Practical Magic, and I haven't read either of those books, but I have watched both films. And I feel like when you compare books to other books or films or just general atmospheres, you are kind of setting expectations there already by doing that comparison. I think sometimes that can hinder, sometimes it can aid. And I think for me, it gave me a kind of image that I wanted for this book, and I didn't quite get it exactly as I wanted. Obviously that's no flaw of this book's writing, like the writing style was brilliant. I really loved the dark atmosphere, it was very mysterious. I really enjoyed the magic system, and I really liked seeing the kind of turn it took. It was one of those books where it's kind of showing you one thing and then starts showing you a different thing, so you're constantly hooked and engaged. Definitely felt like it was a page turner. Like I read this in 3 days, so I definitely enjoyed it, but it was just something, it was ever so slightly missing, and I don't know what, but just a little bit that meant it was a 3.5 out of 5 stars for me. Possibly could push it to a 4, maybe, but yeah, I liked it, and I think if you like this kind of fantasy, you will enjoy it. I just wanted a bit more from the atmosphere, I think, and a bit more from the characters, because I didn't really feel like I massively connected with any of them. Like I wanted to like them a little bit more, but yeah, so this one I finished, which means I have moved on to this one. This is the arc of With This Kiss by Carrie Hope Fletcher. I'm literally just like 30 pages in, started it on sprints, but we'll be reading this one prior to going to the launch event for this next Tuesday, which I'm really excited about. I seem to be doing a thing at the moment where I am reading the arcs that I have before or after the release date of those arcs, so well done me. Oops, this came out yesterday. I feel really bad when I can't get to them in time, but there's so many books at the moment that I want to be able to get to and try and squidge onto fictionary TBRs. So I have been looking forward to reading this one, and I am enjoying the concept so far. It follows a woman who, when she kisses people, she finds out how they're going to die. She works at a theatre that shows older films, and she's currently running a book club for people that want to read books that have been adapted into films, and they basically read the book and then they watch the film at the end of it, which at the end of the month, which sounds like such a cool book club. I would totally join that. So that's my current progress. Sorry, I feel like I'm talking 100 miles a minute. It's because I'm now about to go get ready for bed. So yeah, I'm gonna go do that now. But yeah, I'm off work until the 25th. Very, very happy. No massive plans, but I go back to my family home tomorrow. And I'm just excited for a bit of a chill. I'm saying a bit of a chill, like there's still gonna be a lot that I want to do, but it's gonna be good. Hello, it is Friday evening, and if you couldn't tell, I'm back at my family home today with my very green wall. Hi, it is the start of the bank holiday weekend, or the start of the whole week off for me next week as well, which I'm very excited about. I have spent all day today reading in the sun. I did intend to do a Twitch stream earlier today back at my flat, but it was such lovely weather, I wanted to make the most of it, so I came back a little bit earlier today to my family home and basically just occupied the swinging bench all day to read With This Kiss. So I have got quite a lot of this read. I intended to have this finished by Tuesday, and that's not going to be a problem because I'm either going to finish this later tonight or tomorrow, because it's meant to be really sunny tomorrow as well. So on page 222, I read about 30 pages last night. Honestly, last night the writing style definitely wasn't blowing me away. It didn't really feel like it had anything particularly special to it. It just felt kind of quite a generic writing style, whereas now that I'm a further 200 pages into it, the writing style itself is still similar. However, with the way the story's developed, the writing is almost developed with the story developing. The writing for me isn't, I'm not noticing what I was noticing at the start of the book as I am this far into the book, and I don't know if I've just got used to it. And the concept is coming out a lot more now, whereas at the start I thought that the concept of this main character being able to see how people die when she kisses them, I thought that wasn't going to be played about with as much at the start, because it wasn't really spoken about much at the start, when that was kind of for me a selling point of this book. I was thinking in my head of comparing it to They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera, which is one that's really stayed with me because of the questioning of, is the fact that someone knows they're going to die the thing that actually ends up killing them? or puts them in the situation of what kills them. And I think this is a similar concept as to the way I'm thinking about it, but it didn't really explore that at the start, whereas now it's starting to explore it a lot more, and the main character is asking questions about this and kind of pushing it to its limits and seeing what this really means for her. So that has made it feel a lot stronger for me. So what I would say as an overall thought is I like the story idea, I like where the plot is going, and I'm enjoying all the little references in it as well. There's lots of talk about theatre references and film references, which I would definitely expect for Carrie Hope Fletcher as an author, because obviously she's somebody that is really passionately involved in the theatre, and you can definitely see that reflected in her books. So I like all of those things, but the writing style does for me let it down a little tiny bit, but it's still quite a fun book. It's a very easy read, and sometimes that's just what I want. So at the moment I think this would come out, I don't rate books by like 0.15 of a star, but I think like a 3.75 feels about right for this at the moment, but I feel like it's probably going to round up to a 4 or be a 3.5, because do any of the platforms rate you on 0.75 stars? I think maybe Storygraph does? I don't know, Goodreads needs to introduce half-star ratings or like quarter-star ratings, but I don't know, I'll run this through Corpile once I've finished, but I am liking it, it's good fun, and I look forward to finishing it and seeing where it ends up. For the rest of the weekend, I have brought back with me The Prisoner of Heaven by Carlos Ruiz-Zafón. This is the last book on my Fictionary TBR for the month, and I've also brought back When Women Were Dragons by Kelly Barnhill. This is one that was sent to me by the publishers and is a cool fantasy feminist fiction. So yeah, these are the two, if I finish, well, when I finish this one, that I should be choosing between. I think I'll probably go for The Prisoner of Heaven just because that's the last one on my TBR, and then I'm off TBR for the rest of the month. This has been my second RealmAthon vlog, so I hope you enjoyed it, but I am going to wrap up the vlog here, get ready for bed and read a little bit more. So thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, please do give this video a thumbs up, comment down below what you have been reading this week, and subscribe to see more of my face on your feed. You can also find my Patreon link down below where I do lots of extra content, and I'm also really looking forward to the next vlog because I am going to be doing a couple more different things next week, because obviously I have the week off, so hopefully I'll be able to take you along on that with me. Thank you so much for watching, keep smiling and stay positive.